next lesson is going to be how to draw different parts of the clothing. So I have a quick sketch prepared here for you, and this is just a quick demo. I kind of combine everything together to give you a preview. We're going to look at different types of collars, neckline, sleeves, skirts, gathers, ruffles, pleats, all kinds of things. And I'm trying to make this a very short video so you get a little preview on everything, and later on I will have individual lesson for each of them. Basically, the foundation of all of these is one little rule that I like you to learn. Once you learn that, then you can easily draw any kinds of clothing. One thing you need to know is that the fabric is sitting on top of the body. So anytime that you're drawing any piece of clothing, you want to create that dimension. For example, if you are looking at body here, so you will be using your models that you created in the previous week, but just because I want it to be larger for the video purpose so you can see better what I'm doing, I'm just doing a very random larger kind of model here. So you have your body, say here's our shoulder line. Let's just start with drawing a neckline. Necklines come in different forms and shapes. You can have a V-neck, U-neck, scoop neck, sweetheart neck, all kinds of them. For the case of just a demo, I'll just do a scoop neck, which is basically a round, deep line. So any design you want to use, please refer to the sheet I uploaded on our class website. There are all kinds of neckline you can refer to. So you draw that line first. Next thing you do, you're going to continue that design line up and then go back in and darken the inside. Now what that is, you're basically showing the inside of the fabric, and it shows that this is going behind her body. From the tip of that point, you're going to draw a straight line on above that shoulder line. So in your scale, it will be about 1 millimeter. So draw that line, and then you could reinforce your line. Same thing on that other side. Now this thing that I just shared with you is being used everywhere. Say you're going to have a sleeve here, and so again you're going to decide about the length of your sleeve. Okay. Let's quickly draw some part of her body too. There. And in here, say if the arm is coming out from here, again, same thing that we did there is going to be happening here. So you have your other line, and then you're going to show inside of that fabric and darken it. Right? So basically you want to show inside of the sleeve, and you draw the rest of your design. If you're doing this, consider if this is for a pants or a skirt, anything, it is the same. Right? So if I want to quickly show you on a skirt, so here is the skirt line. Say her leg are going down that way. You will have the same thing happening right here. Right? If I give her 2 legs, there. Now I want to just open up and tell you why we are having that loop, and hopefully that stays with you, and as we go through our examples, it makes more sense to you. If you consider any of these pieces, say the sleeve, or if this was a pants, we had the same idea, or the skirt. If you were laying down on the ground and looking up, all of these, they have a full circle, right? So the cut of the skirt is really a circle. But because it goes into perspective and you're looking at her from front point of view, your circle will be also viewed in perspective, which will be based on the direction that you're looking at her, will turn to be an oval form, right? It could be as wide as that, or narrower, again, depending on your VP, or depending on where you're actually standing and how you're looking at it. Now, if consider the skirt line. So here is our full circle being in perspective, turning to an oval. The legs are coming out from here, so they're blocking that part, but this inside, you get to see the rest of the circle, right? I'm really exaggerating on this so you can kind of get what's going on. Same thing with the sleeve, same thing with the neckline, or even say if you have a hat, it's the same basis, right? So if this could be the circle of your hat. I mean, I'm running out of space here, but this part in hat you can see more because of the angle the hat is, right? So just remember that, and we're going to refer to that as little loop as I go through the lessons. Now that we know that, we could easily get started on different styles. All right, let's do a full drawing of a clothing, and as we go through different parts, I talk about how you're approaching different parts of the clothing. I'm going to use my mechanical pencil. It's 0.9 and it's 2B. So it is darker and it is a little thicker than your normal mechanical pencil. I would use that to draw the body. Let's give her some hair. We will have a detailed lesson for hair later on coming up, but for now just give her some hair. Let's design some v-neck. So again, you could go draw your line. You're going to create a little loop, extend it on top of the body, make inside the loop darker. And in fact, when you're doing this, you don't need to draw the shoulder. So I'm going to erase that part. So all you do, you just draw above the shoulder line. Don't even draw and erase. I was just rushing through this, right? And there are two types of sleeves for the cut. I mean, there are different types, but two main cuts that you use in pattern drafting. They're either natural form, which basically you have the seam line coming from under the arm all the way to your shoulder. That's your normal cut. And we also have raglan cut. I'm going to do it on the other side. So this, at the end, this drawing will be a little strange, but I want to show you a bunch of things at once. So to do that line, you just draw a line from under the arm right to your shoulder. Now, based on the design, it could be coming to this side or that side, but it's definitely not rounded. If it is rounded, that's your natural cut. In this case, I'm going to switch to a thicker pencil. This is your raglan cut, right? And on this side, I'm not going to have any sleeve. On this other side, I'm going to have a sleeve. So say we want to have a shorter sleeve with a cuff. So you're going to draw a box for your cuff, and I'm going to include some gathers right here. So you just use little lines, and then here I'm going to make it a little poofy. So you go out and coming in, suggesting some lines. There you go. So that's one type of sleeve. Now if your sleeve was close fitting to the body, I'm just going to continue on this side. Instead of doing all that, you would just you were going to keep that 1 millimeter over top of the body, continuing that line and coming down. And at the lower part, this doesn't have a big cuff like that, so it has just normal. Again, you just do your little loop. If this is the cuff, again at the bottom of the cuff, you're going to apply your little loop. Right? Now on this side, I'm going to show the skin. So the skin is right here. Now I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to make an extension of fabric on the arm. It's not a sleeve, but it's like a design that you could kind of attach another piece, maybe using elastic, but I want to also make it transparent. That's why I did draw the skin first. Let's do that part. And then here you could create your little loop. This is the other way, right? So my loop is the other way, because right here I'm going to have some kind of elastic to hold it onto the body, and then here I want to go out. Now this could be your sleeve too, right? Like you could start your regular sleeve and kind of loosen it up at the bottom. So the form of your sleeve is up to you. And because this is transparent, I drew the skin or the arm, and I'm just adjusting some lines. I kept this pretty straight for now, but shortly you'll see how we can create some ruffles. Say here is the arm, so this goes around. Again, this time my loop is a little bigger, as you can see. So here are the fingers. There you go. All right. Now for the body, when you're doing a top, just follow the form of the body if it is not loose. If it is loose, again, you could extend it to whatever design you have in mind. Let's put on a pants for her. So in order to do the pants, again, you're going to decide about the height of it. I'm going to make it like a capri length. So you decide about the length, add that 1 millimeter to the body and add some crest, make the loop at the bottom. There you go. And here I want to show the top is on top of the pants. So again, you make your line, create your loop, make it a little looser. And let's draw the rest of the foot. I'm gonna give her a high heel shoe. But don't worry about drawing the shoes at this point. You get to learn it later on. For now, I'll just doing some quick sketch. There we go. So we roughly have, a piece of clothing. It's not symmetrical, but I was able to show you different tricks there. Now, another thing you can add is top stitching. Top stitching is when you use a decorative stitching for clothing. They're usually used for denim. So if this is a denim pants, you could definitely show more of that by applying your dotted line, or even if we give her some pockets. It's easy and a very small move, but it really creates that illusion. There you go. So we have this What else I can show you right here? I think that's good enough for one example. It's not very, unified, but I guess that's all right. Let's move on to this other model that I have and do another design. If you're doing an asymmetrical neckline, like this was symmetrical is a V, or you could do whatever style, but it's exactly the same. Say you're doing asymmetrical, meaning either side are not the same. You decide and think about that line first. In this case, I'm going to use that model. I'm going to put that line. I want that to be my neckline. Then I'm going to turn this to a dress. I'm going to draw the body. Again, make sure you're not drawing exactly on top of the body. Give it a little extension, like a little, about 1-2 millimeter extra. And here I'm going to draw the neck and the head. Now, say I want this to have some kind of a style, like a bigger color going out. In order to do that, you continue your design line however you want. And then I'm going to make it really large to exaggerate the idea. Up to there. And I'm going to show behind what's happening there, right? So this area will be dark because that's behind her body. On top, I'm going to have some form of design here. Just like that. And she doesn't have any sleeve, so go ahead and draw the arm. Right? Now you could practice your dark to light, how we practiced it last week. So far we have the upper part. For the lower part, we could either do like flare out, or we could have it tied to the body. If we were going to keep it tied to the body, we'll just draw that line, create your little loop. Again, because in the favor of time, I'm trying to show everything at once. So here we go. We make it kind of tight to the body, and if this was done, you would draw the legs and you're done. But I want to show you how to do some gathers. Say I want to have a piece coming out this way. You decide about the shape first of all, and at the bottom you're going to have our line, but this is the idea again. So going back to our circle and loop, so here's the original form, but we don't really see all that at the back. This is the edge that is visible to us, and what we are going to do is to create a wavy line at the bottom. There are different types of ruffles that I'll show you shortly, but for this one, let's stick with that. So your waves are kind of going to one direction this way. From tip of each of them, we are going to draw a line coming to the center of that, but you let go. You know how we practicing from dark to light? I'm going to press hard and lift up the pressure and let go. So technically they're all meeting right at that point, or they could be spread out from here. So keeping that in mind, I mean, what I'm trying to say is that they're not going to outside this way, or this is not going here. They are coming back to this center, right? So go ahead and draw your lines. This last one is a little off, so I'm gonna correct it. So the good thing is that you could always have correction as you go, right? There we go. So step 1 was to draw your curvy line. Step 2, find the tip of each and draw a line going up. Step 3, you're going to draw a straight line inside that loop for all of them, in fact. And last step is to darken the inside of those. By doing this, you will create dimension in your skirt. Now with it, this is what we're doing it for skirt, but this could be done on a sleeve, on a top, everywhere that you want to show the ruffles, you could do that. I'm gonna go back and darken those areas. Here, because it's going in the outside, my loop will be in the other direction. Right, there we go. Now on top, you're going to show the gathers. You could use either the same pencil, drawing pencil, or your mechanical. I use the mechanical to have a little more delicate lines. There we go, and that's it. Now if you want, you could darken some of those lines, and then I could go ahead and draw the rest of the foot, whatever I can see. And that's it, it's done. Now, you can try to combine different styles as I'm doing, but you don't have to. I think it might be a little easier if you just pick one. Say if this is your skirt, you do your skirt, and then you do a basic top, and moving on. I'm just doing it because I don't want to have very long videos for you, and I want to keep it short. Another thing, you could show the constructional seams. So these are your darts. When the clothes is so close fitting to the body, there will be either seams or darts. So I'm suggesting that there is a dart here, 2 darts right there.